Well, today is Friday, March 31st. It's a day 3. Today for lunch is chicken nachos with rice.
Hi, so I wanted to recommend some books for all my Maryvale students to read over spring break. So come down to the library and check out some books today so you have some books to read over our long break. So the first one is called Ain't Burn All the Bright, and it's by Jason Reynolds, an author you might be familiar with. So this is all three of these books actually are all narrative fiction books, and I love narrative fiction because they're really easy to read. So they're written like poetry. So I'll show you some examples in here. So this is what the book looks like. It has mostly illustrations in this book, but it has like lines of poetry in it. So it's very easy to read, even though it's really long. It's mostly illustrations. So I recommend to anyone who is a struggling reader and doesn't like to read. But these books, like I said, are written like poetry, so it's pretty easy to read. And this book is called Don't Call Me a Hurricane, which is about a girl who's a climate activist, and she lives on an island, and they're trying to overdevelop it with like all this constructions, hotels on the beaches, and she just wants to make her island better. So really interesting, and like I said, really easy, engaging to read. This one's called Catching a Storyfish, set up just like the others, and it's about a girl who moves to a new town and has an accent, and a lot of her classmates make fun of her for the accent. It's about her overcoming it. All right, next is a nonfiction book that's called Anxiety Relief for Teens. So if you suffer from anxiety, sometimes I have a lot of anxiety too, and if exams coming up around the corner, this can really help you. Every single chapter deals with something different. This one's chapter 3, Managing Difficult Emotions, how to set up a nice sleep schedule, because I know a lot of us aren't sleeping. Chapter 4, Changing Your Thoughts. So if you have trouble with anxiety or managing anxiety, I highly recommend checking out this book. Maybe you'll get new tips and tricks from it. All right, next is Demon Slayer. So I heard this is really popular. I am trying to get into a lot of manga right now because I'm going to Japan this summer and I want to read as much manga as possible. So if you have any more recommendations for me, please let me know. And we also have new Naruto books, new My Hero Academia books. So come down to the library and check out some cool manga. Alright, so these are my LGBTQ plus books. This one's called This Is Our Rainbow. So it's a bunch of 16 short stories of her, him, them, and us. So if you want to read short stories about LGBTQ plus teenagers, this is the book for you. And this one's called Both Can Be True. It's about Ash, and Ash is gender fluid, and they don't always know how to define themselves and how to come out to their friends and family. So it's very interesting because I don't really have many gender fluid books in my library. So I haven't read it yet, so please come down, read it, and let me know how it is. Then I have some horror books. This one's called Scritch Scratch, about a girl who meets a boy with glowing eyes on the bus, and she realizes he's actually not alive, and he starts stalking her everywhere, sees her in her house, school, and she wants to know what the boy with glowing eyes, what he wants, and why he's stalking her, and it's pretty scary. So I recommend you read this before you go to bed so you'd be extra scared. It's called Scritch Scratch. So highly recommend that. And then I have a bunch of these stories. This is a series. This one's called Dead Voices and Dark Waters. So it deals with this small town that has a bunch of monsters and ghosts in it in every single book. So you can read it out of order, the series. That's okay. Deals with a different entity. So this one deals with sea monsters, and this one deals with ghosts. So it doesn't matter which order you read the books in, because every single book in the series deals with a different monster a group of students have to fight. Alright, and these are my 2 realistic fiction books. This is called Where the Watermelons Grow, about a girl who's trying to do it for her mother who has a mental illness called schizophrenia, and it's really gripping and emotional, might make you cry, so highly recommend a book if you know anyone or yourself dealing with mental illness. It's very good. And the last one's called Playing the Cards You Dealt, about a boy who's like he's only 10 years old, but he's into gambling and into playing cards and winning really big because his dad was really, really good at that, and he wants to impress him. And then he has a new partner who's a girl, and people are making fun of him because he has a new card dealing partner who's a girl, and he has to deal with bullying and trying to be the best he can in school. So another realistic fiction book that is really, really good. So, and I have plenty of other books that are here in the library that you want to come down and check out because I want you to read something over spring break. All right, have a great day, everyone.
Mrs. Forte's Music Lessons, Group J, Mod 1. Mrs. Phelps Music Lessons, Mod 2, 8th Orchestra, Mod 3, Group F, Mod 4, Group J, Mod 5, Middle School Makeups, Mod 9, Group K.
Happy birthday to Ava Lansman. Happy birthday to Luke Altieri, Ryan Harlow, Cheyenne Jaffrey, Jackson Meyer, Mason Nagel, Anna Nien, Scholar Feklici, Pablo Pina, Guy Reckert, Zasa, and Shayna Slusser.